NMP, National Monetization Pipeline announced by Government of India on August 21. The issue has to be correctly framed to be not misled by propaganda background. Capitalism privatization is seen as a better choice for the utilization of resources, while bureaucratic public sector control or utilization of resources is poor. Since 1990, systematic and deliberate mismanagement and destruction of the public sector to create public opinion in favor of handover to crony capitalists is the background of the current, most audacious project since independence. Versions behind the political group, the private versus bureaucrat binary is a facade for capitalists to grab the public sector assets built over the last 70 years wholesale in collaboration with the pliant political class. Sense of ownership. The issue's root lies in the sense of ownership in private, and the lack of it in the public sector. Proud's solution. Proud addresses it by transfer of ownership to workers, raw material suppliers, consumers, cooperative structures. Only a minority investors have a sense of ownership in the private sector. In contrast, the majority, workers, raw material suppliers, consumers, stakeholders, have a sense of ownership in the proud cooperatives regime. As a result, it will ensure maximum and progressive utilization of resources. That is the true economic democracy. Gaming the system, 6 lakh crore worth public assets are identified for sale. The distinction between newly coined word monetization and privatization is only wordplay. The long lease and no transfer of ownership is a facade. It is outright transfer of assets to the private sector. 1.5 lakh crores will accrue under the scheme for the next 4 years. Wrong. It should be noted that the fresh accrual will be net of current income from the assets, which has to be deducted. National Infrastructure Pipeline (NIP) project with outlay of 100 to 200 lakh crores announced. How the net accrual of meager 1.5 lakh crore a year won't serve any purpose. It is clear that corporate lawyers have drafted the project hiding the real agenda of private loot of public assets. The record of Government of India is poor choice of crony capitalists in transfer of assets capable of developing global brands. In a similar exercise, countries like Japan, Taiwan, Singapore, and South Korea have transformed their economies. Media blitz. The capitalist media is working overtime to sell false narratives to misguide the people to believe NMP as a solution, while it is an audacious attempt at national loot. Benefits of proud cooperatives. Confirming Proud's vision of cooperatives, the Leeds University Business School published in February 2022 its findings, examining 2 decades international data on worker-owned cooperatives, that is, businesses that are owned and run by the employees themselves. The findings are the worker cooperatives in Europe, the US and Latin America are larger on average than other businesses. Involvement. Because worker cooperatives are owned and run by employees, they have far more say in the business, from day-to-day concerns through to major strategic issues. Productivity. Because the employees are the owners with a stake in the future of the business, worker cooperatives are more productive than conventional businesses, with staff working harder and the organization harnessing their skills more effectively. Job security. Because the employees themselves are in control. When there is a downturn in the economy or the market, worker cooperatives have consistently taken the decision to drop wages rather than lose jobs. When business picks up, they are ready to respond and can make up for lost pay because the employees get a share of profit. Diversity. Because worker ownership is a way of organizing a business that creates involvement, relative job security, and higher productivity, the approach works across industries, from traditional manufacturing to the creative and high-tech industries.